Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is a pretty good one, pretty important one. Definitely, one of those ones where you learn some lessons. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So today's story time all starts off back when I was 16 years old. Around this time, your boy was grounded. I got grounded for 2 weeks, and I was counting the days until it was over, because this was one of those groundings where my parents actually enforced it. Because sometimes my mom would ground me and then 2 days later she'd just kind of forget. And then I could just go back to hanging out with my friends or playing video games, whatever it was, right? Well, around this time, my mom was actually enforcing it and she wasn't letting me do anything. I lost my phone, lost my Xbox, lost the ability to hang out with friends. All I could do was go to school every day, come home, and I couldn't even make videos, bro. She took my laptop, so I couldn't make videos. It sucked. It was just a shitty all around time, right? Now, it was the last day of me being grounded when the story time takes place, okay? It's really where it starts off. So it was the last day. I was really excited because the next day I had plans with my friend. It was going to be the weekend. I was going to be hanging out with my friend, spending the weekend at his house, sleeping over there. And I was very excited because, one, I hadn't been out of my house in a couple weeks. And two, my friend's house was pretty nice and pretty fun to hang out at. And I was just excited to see my boy. I was just stoked to hang out with him. There's actually going to be another person hanging out with us as well. And I was stoked. So fast forward to the next day, it was time to go hang out with my friend. And I got all my stuff ready, got all my stuff packed, and I went to get in the car. And my mom was like, "Listen, Austin, I know you're excited to go hang out with your friend and you just got done being grounded. But if I find out you're doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing with your friend, sneaking out or going somewhere you're not supposed to go, I will ground you for double the amount of time. So don't get in trouble, okay?" And I was like, "I won't, don't worry." And I didn't have any plans to. I'm not going to lie. I actually was planning to not do anything stupid. I literally just wanted to go hang out with my friend at his house for the weekend and just chill, right? So upon arriving to my friend's house, I don't want to keep calling him my friend, so we're going to give him a name. We'll call this friend Kyle, okay? So I get to Kyle's house. My mom talks to his mom for a little bit. And then my mom leaves and me and Kyle go down to the basement and we just start playing some Halo. Literally, that's all we were doing, bro. Just playing Halo. And then 5 minutes later, our other friend pulls up. His mom drops him off. He comes downstairs. We're all hanging out in the basement and we're all just playing Halo, right? And after I don't know, maybe an hour of playing, we got pretty bored and we wanted to do something else. So we went upstairs and we asked my homie's mom if it was cool to walk to the mall. She said that was fine as long as we're back by 9 o'clock. So we did. We went to the mall, hung out there for about 3 hours, and then we came back home and just went back to playing video games in the basement. Now, about 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. rolls around, and we're pretty bored, right? We don't really know what to do. We've played most of the games we like playing, and we don't really know what else to do, right? So Kyle, the one who invited us over, has this idea. He's like, "Yo, let's go sneak out. Let's just sneak out the back door. We can go in the woods behind my house, maybe smoke or something." And normally, you guys know me back then, I'd be like, "All right, sure, I'm down." But around this time, bro, I really didn't want to get fucking grounded for another month. I had literally just come off a 2-week grounding and I'd been grounded a bunch of other times before that. So I really didn't want to get grounded again, right? So I told him the truth. I was like, "Bro, I don't think I can do that, man. If you guys want to do that, sure. But I'm going to hang here." And they decided to go out without me. So they did. They snuck out for 40 minutes. They went in the backwoods behind Kyle's house, him and the other friend, and they smoked a little bit of weed, and I just kind of hung in the basement. And I can't lie, I definitely wanted to be out there with them. But honestly, I was kind of proud of myself for being the responsible one for once. Usually I'm the first one to be an idiot, so I was happy that in this situation, I wasn't just giving in to, my unresponsible temptations, right? So after 40 minutes or so, 45, they came back in. They both reeked of weed and had very red eyes for obvious reasons. And they sit down and they go back to playing Halo, right? And I'm just sitting there on the couch chilling. And 5 or 10 minutes later, they start talking about guns. I can't remember how they got on the topic of guns. I think it was they were talking about Halo weapons or something. And then they started talking about real guns. And my one friend, not Kyle, the other one that we invited over, he was talking about how his parents owned a pistol or something. And then Kyle, out of nowhere, gets this look on his face. It was this look of pure excitement or something, right? And he pauses the game and he goes, "I'll be right back." And he runs upstairs. Now, I don't know about you guys, but hearing your friend get really excited and then say, "I'll be right back," after your other friend was just talking about a pistol, it made me feel a little weird. I was like, this is kind of weird. What could he possibly be grabbing right now? Like, is he about to pull out like a fucking AK-47 or something? Like, does he just have one hiding somewhere? And he comes back down holding a pistol. Like a fucking real pistol, bro. And he's holding it completely wrong, by the way. Like, the first thing I learned about gun safety was you never put your finger in the trigger hole when you're holding it, unless you're planning to shoot. And he had his finger on the trigger. And I was like, yo, take your fucking finger out the trigger hole. And he did. He's like, oh, well, my bad. And he sits down and he's like, look. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is that? Is that an airsoft gun? Like, what is that? Because I honestly thought it was an airsoft gun. And he's like, no, bro, like, it's my dad's. And I was like, where did you get that? And he goes on to explain that he saw his dad put the code in one day. Like, his dad didn't know he was watching. And he, like, memorized the code to his dad's gun safe. And yeah, while his dad was sleeping on this night and his mom, he went upstairs into their room, right where the gun safe is, right next to the bed, while they were asleep, and, like, very quietly put the combination in and then took the gun out and brought it downstairs to show us. Now, my first instinct was like, yo, this is stupid. This is dumb. Because, first of all, bro, I was a 16-year-old kid, bro. I didn't give a shit about his father's pistol. I didn't care. I just wanted to, like, play some Halo and, like, maybe go skating or something. I didn't give a fuck about seeing his dad's gun. I didn't care. And, like, even back then, I would hear these, like, horror stories about, like, kids knowing where their parents kept their weapons or, like, knowing the combinations to safes and then, like, getting their weapons out and playing with them like they were toys and getting hurt. So, like, yeah, obviously I didn't want to end up in that list of people that got hurt because someone was playing with their parents' weapon. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I'm just going to tell him straight up, this is stupid. So I told him, I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, this is dumb. Go put that back. Like, you have no idea how to use that. Neither do we. Like, I'm not trying to see something go wrong. And also, if your dad finds out you have that, you'll be in a shit ton of trouble. And I was just trying to look out for my boy, right? And then right after I say that, Kyle's face kind of changes. He looks like he's understanding what I'm saying, right? He looks like he agrees. And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, man, you know what? You're probably right. I'll go put it back. And right as he goes to stand up, our other friend, who I'm now going to refer to as Dumbass, goes, wait, let me see it. I know a lot about guns. Like, I watch a ton of gun safety videos on YouTube. I watch all these creators. He starts listing off all these, like, YouTubers that, like, shoot guns and shit. And I was like, yeah, cool. I don't care. And Kyle falls for it. He hands this dude the pistol. And this motherfucker, just like Kyle, doesn't know how to handle one at all. And he's like putting his finger in the trigger hole at one point. He even looked down the barrel, which is insane. Like, it made my heart physically start racing. Like, just the dumbest shit to be doing with a weapon, right? Didn't check if it was loaded because he didn't know how to. And I was like, all right, guys, like, please get that shit out of here. Like, give it back to Kyle. Let him put it back. Because I just fucking had this feeling, man. I had this feeling that something was about to go wrong. And my feeling was correct, because not even 5 seconds later, Mr. Dumbass, not Kyle, but our other friend, who's holding the pistol, starts trying to check if it's loaded, and clearly does it wrong, because he ends up accidentally firing the pistol. He fucking fired it on accident. And he was aiming it right between me and my friend when he did it. Like, he was holding it sideways, trying to check if it was loaded. And when he shot it, it literally was like inches, bro. Like, where it hit the wall, it was inches away from me. And it was so loud because we were in an insulated basement, keep in mind. Like, it was a well-insulated basement. It was a finished basement. There was carpet everywhere and walls. So, like, it was so loud. And the sound combined with the drywall dust, like, landing on me after the bullet went through the wall, I genuinely thought I got shot. Like, in my head, I thought, holy shit, I just got shot. And I thought that I didn't feel it because of, like, my fear and, like, my adrenaline. And I remember after it happened, I literally looked at my friend and I go, did you just shoot me? And he goes, no, hit the wall, bro, hit the wall. And I turn around and there's a bullet hole in the wall. And I, like, lifted my shirt to see if I was hit, bro. Like, I was so scared. And so did my friend Kyle. And not even 30 seconds later, bro, I hear the basement door swing open and his dad running downstairs. And Kyle's dad goes, what the hell was that? And then he sees the weapon on the ground and the hole in the drywall. And his first question was, are you guys okay? Because obviously he probably thought one of us got hurt. And we're all like, yes. And after he verified that everyone was okay and no one got hurt, then he was really angry. He was also super confused. He had no idea that Kyle knew the gun safe combination. So like he looked at Kyle and he's like, how the hell do you get my pistol? This thing is not a toy. Like, explain yourself. And Kyle told him like, oh, I just knew the combination. I saw you put it in one day and you didn't know I was behind you. And then he yells at him even more. He's like, you shouldn't be spying on me like that. Even if you saw my combination, you should have told me. Like, you shouldn't be going in there behind my back and playing with my gun like it's a toy. And he's just yelling at him, right? And he's under the impression that Kyle is the one that fired it. Because when he came downstairs, the pistol was just on the ground, right? And then Kyle, just like to defer some of the anger off him, he just snitches on our friend. Which honestly, completely valid. Fuck that idiot. Bro almost shot one of us. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of sympathy about him getting, snitched on. Kyle was literally on board with like taking it back upstairs and putting it in the safe. And just before that happened, that's when fucking dumbass was like, oh, let me see it. I know about guns. And then, shot the wall on accident. Anyway, Kyle's dad then yelled at our friend a little bit. And we ended up figuring out like what he did wrong, I think. I mean, I still don't know exactly what he did, but this was the theory based on what his dad said. So I'm pretty sure the weapon was in there loaded. Well, obviously it was already loaded if he fired it, but the safety was on. At least that's what Kyle's dad said. So I'm assuming our dumbass friend accidentally turned the safety off and then fired it while trying to, unload it or whatever. Now, I don't know the rules and regulations and laws about having a gun loaded in a safe like that. Like, even if you have the proper paperwork to have one, which he did, I don't know if you're allowed to have it loaded or if you're supposed to have it unloaded. I don't know. So there might be some blame on his dad, too. But, like, either way, you shouldn't be sneaking into your parents' gun safe and playing with their weapons like they're fucking toys. I learned that at a very young age. Also, why would you want to play with a device that you know nothing about that can kill you? Like if someone walked up to me at 16 years old and was like, hey man, here's a nuclear bomb. You have no idea how to work it. Do you want to play with it with your friends? I'd probably be like, nah, I'm good. That's a bomb. I don't want to blow myself up on accident, as well as other people. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Either way, the dad had to extract the bullet out of the wall. Also, thank fuck it was in the basement and it didn't travel very far. If we were above ground, it could have traveled through the walls and hit someone else in the house. It could have traveled outside and hit someone outside. Like, he got very lucky. Let's just say that. Anyway, needless to say, Kyle got grounded for like a fucking year. I didn't see him for so long after that. They called all of our parents up and we had to get picked up that night at like 2 a.m. Luckily, they told my mom about what happened and that it wasn't my fault. So yeah, I didn't get grounded like they did. Kyle got like a year grounding for going in his dad's gun safe and essentially like sneaking his combination off him. Our friend, the one that fired it, his parents signed him up for like this juvenile delinquent like program. They basically sent him to juvie like voluntarily for like a week or two. And then he also got grounded for like a fucking year. And me, I didn't get in trouble for once. This is like one of those rare instances where I was, not in trouble. So yeah, that felt good at least that I didn't get in any trouble. But like, I didn't give a fuck about any of that, bro. I'm just happy nobody was hurt. That could have ended with one of us getting shot, dude. And that is so scary and crazy to think about. And that is what leads me to my next point, which is, moral of the story is, guns are not toys, bro. Like, don't go playing with guns, please. Like, if you're a younger person watching this and your parents have them, or like people in your family own them, and they keep them locked up, let them be. Don't try going, into their safes or some shit, bro. Leave it to the adults to handle the weapons. When you're old enough, you can get one if you want. But if you're 16, like I was in this story, and your friends are like, hey, let's go try and mess with this pistol. Be like, nah, bro, nah. Listen to my voice, Luna, okay? I experienced it. Let me be the voice in your head. Don't go messing around with that shit. You don't want what happened to me to happen to you, because you might not get so lucky. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the story time. A very crazy one in my opinion. Like, definitely one of the closest, like, near-death experiences I would say I've ever had. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Know your place, have bitches, pull up on me, I got 2 switches, 20 gauge rounds, hit you up like it's nutrition, I've risen, everything came to fruition, stop the jealous talking on your girls, mine I might hit it, I heard my name is in your mouth, yeah I really doubt, you want me talking back cause I could really air it out, remember when I